Welcome to Market Insights, the investment webcast of Bank Sarasin. We're here at Emirates Towers, just across the bank's Dubai offices at the Dubai International Financial Center. And we're now joined by Burkhard Varnholt, member of the Executive Board and Chief Investment Officer of Bank Sarasin. Mr. Varnholt, welcome.
Good morning.
Please share with us the key elements. What can investors expect from the markets in the coming months?
Corporate profits still benefit from the profound corporate restructuring which companies really started at the heat of 2009. Secondly, the credit and the euro crisis are clearly coming to an end. And thirdly, fiscal and monetary policy continue to be super accommodative. Remember Ben Bernanke, who outlined towards the end of last year that he would actually like to see higher stock prices contribute to rising consumer and investor confidence and thereby set off a virtuous circle that we would see in 2011. Let's hope he got his plan right.
Looking at the region here, what are your expectations for the economic and the market developments in the GCC region, but also in India?
Well, certainly the GCC markets benefit greatly from the rising commodity prices and generally the strong position that they find themselves in between Asia, Africa, and their connection to the world economy. They will continue to do well despite the current unrest that we're seeing in the Mediterranean, in the Levant, in the North African countries. India in itself is an economic powerhouse that's difficult to derail for the years to come.
A year ago, you predicted oil to reach the $100 a barrel mark. It did, you were right. Looking at oil this year, where is it headed?
I would place my bets on oil hitting the $120 mark by the end of this year.
And then, what comes next?
120 is the next step. This is really caused by overstated reserves and continued demand for it, which you just simply cannot replace that easily.
What would you recommend investors at this point in time?
Well, I think there's two aspects to it. One is to be invested in commodities, just generally, but in fossil fuels as in particular. But then at the second time, remember the Stone Ages. The Stone Age didn't come to an end because the world ran out of stones. When you look around here, there are plenty of stones everywhere. The Stone Age came to an end because humans developed better technology. And in a very similar way, the age of fossil fuels will clearly end, not because we're running out of fossil fuels. Yes, that's true too. But much earlier than that, we will find better technology. So investing into better technology and new power technology is an important and integral part of any investor in this market.
Sarasin is focused on sustainable investments. Where do commodities come into this investment strategy?
Well, that's a very important question that a lot of investors are asking me these days. With commodity prices, especially the agricultural commodity prices, surging to unprecedented highs, people are asking whether it's right or sustainable to invest. And I will say clearly, yes, it is right to invest into commodities. It is naive to believe that by not investing into commodities, one would do any better for the world in total. Remember just two things. For one, in all developing and emerging economies, more than 50% of the population still works in the agricultural sector. So they're immediate beneficiaries of rising commodity prices. Now, secondly, people will argue, but it's becoming more difficult to pay for food and other natural commodities. Well, the way to address this, obviously, is not by imposing price ceilings, but by increasing purchasing power, by raising the number and level of jobs available to the population. This is something that market economics are very good at, and investors who create liquid markets for commodities are contributing their part to an efficient economy where commodities will have the price that they deserve.
Mr. Varnholt, thank you for sharing your views with us. This was Market Insights, the investment webcast of Bank Sarasin. Should you have any questions concerning the opinions expressed in this edition, please contact Mr. Burkhard Varnholt directly. For further information, opinions on the latest economic events and views on trends that will move tomorrow's financial markets, please contact your client relationship manager or the research team at Bank Sarasin.